What is going on, buddy? Zach RC here. Welcome back to the channel and welcome along to the first episode of our F1 24 Driver Career Series. Unfortunately, guys, if those of you who did see the message I put out yesterday, unfortunately we have lost the original Driver Career save, which means I have to start fresh from here. But we'll make a blast of it and we'll go back into Formula 2 as we were. If you guys are looking forward to the new series, make sure to like the video and get subscribed for more future F1 24 content. So starting in F2 as we did in the original series, but this time we're going to do the full season. So last time we just did the 3 race scenarios. This time we're going to do the full 14 race championship for the first time since F1 2021. So hope you're looking forward to a full season of competition. As you're doing our custom drive, we'll skip ahead just as I make this first part, which obviously is more or less the same every single year. Quick thing on the helmet there, so we get our design in with our typical colours as usual. Again, we'll skip through that as we make the decision of the Apex Hunt helmet. Not a lot of helmets on offer in this game compared to the last few, and from there, the emotes aren't really too important in terms of what we need for the remainder of this little setup. But we'll look into Driver Academy in a moment, as well as what team we're going for, because I'll say it's a different team this time. Last time we went for Carlin, which is obviously under the Red Bull Academy, and I did think about potentially going there again. I wanted to avoid it if I could, and I also considered Alpine and McLaren as well, but in the end I decided to go with the Ferrari Driver Academy, which of course obviously entices Ferrari, Sauber and Haas. So we'll make the decision to put one of those three teams as you go into Formula 1. But for now, though, it's time to choose our F2 team, which will compete the season in of 2023. Now, last time we went for Carlin, as I said. I did consider Trident as well, perhaps even Van Amersfoort, but in the end, we're going for the ART, which, of course, we also did in F1 2021, driving Teo Porcher's car, which means our teammate will be Victor Martins, which overall seems like a good pairing. We could potentially run for the Constructors' Championship, and, of course, we're looking to win the Drivers' Championship and get ourselves into Formula 1 in the best possible way. So without further ado, let's jump right in to the first race of the season in Bahrain.
So it's all about speed in today's sprint race then. Not very many laps and no chance to get ahead on strategy. Who here today has the raw skill to take them to the top? Bahrain represents an exceptional 3.36 miles of racing. Lots of opportunities to overtake throughout its 15 corners. Now, this track has built a reputation for being brutal on the rear tyres, so keep an eye on how these young drivers manage their rubber. Strategy here could ultimately determine the winner of the race. It's the start of the new campaign, and what better way to get underway than with a high-speed sprint? We welcome Alex Brundle to the commentary box. Alex, what are you looking forward to?
All of the different scenarios we can gather together when you put these great young drivers out on circuit. It's going to be a brilliant year, full of action, and I can't wait to get going with this first sprint.
Okay, we celebrated pole position yesterday. That's history now. Today, we go for the win. I want to be celebrating with you at the end of this race. Come on, mate.
Time for action then in Bahrain for the first sprint race of the Formula 2 season. Starting from pole position in this case. Now, of course, qualifying rules mean the top 10 are flipped for the sprint race. So we're starting 10th for the feature, but starting for qualifying P10 means we'll get pole. So we'll lead the field on the formation lap for the first time, I think, in quite a while, perhaps ever on this channel. I don't actually remember the last time I nabbed pole position on another game. But we'll lead up to Leclerc away on the front row alongside, and of course, another Ferrari graduate, or potential Ferrari graduate, and Behrman also in the Driver Academy as well. So we've got a few rivals we'll need to take on early in this career mode in order to get ourselves that seat on the 2024 grid that will be coveted for us by the end of the season. But of course, crucially, if we can get ourselves off the line with perhaps a sprint race victory to kick things off, you never know. As we line up on the grid, I'm happy with the podium finish. We can nab some points, definitely will be satisfactory, but obviously we'd like to go for the win. Don't want to lose any places off the line here. See if we can keep Leclerc, Fittipaldi, Behrman and our teammate Victor Martins at bay as the top 5 all line up and the rest of the field join up behind us. So we are seconds away now from the start of what should be a fantastic opening race of the career save. So here we go then. Here come the lights in Bahrain for the sprint race. The first round of the season here in Formula 2. First race of the career series, and it's underway. Lights up to the floor. Go, go, go. Oh, a bit of a slide there on the start. Leclerc gets a good jump on the right-hand side of the racetrack. He's going towards the first corner. Behrman into third place. He'll make it through wide as we go in towards turn 1. That very tight right-hander. Behrman in the middle. Leclerc all the way on the inside. We're on the outside. We're on the unfavourable position there. And Fittipaldi always gets around us as well. Behrman takes the lead from third. Leclerc jumps into second. He stays where he is. We fall to third. So not a fantastic start there given the situation on pole. We might not get any chance of that over the course of the campaign, but in towards turn number 4 now, keeping in line, looking to the outside, trying to find something on Leclerc. No real opportunity to go for a move there. Correa in behind us. Fittipaldi's dropped back a place or two as well. Martin's down in 6th now. It's not a fantastic start for him. Correa's more or less taking his place in the top 5. We're going to try and make a move here to the inside of the dams in towards the right hand. A bit of contact there. Leclerc moves over, gives us a slight tap there. But on the exit, we can pull clear of the Monegasque and jump into P2 and start hunting down our compatriot Oliver Bearman down in towards we're midway through the first lap. All the way into turn 10. I have to be very careful on the braking there because F2 braking zone's a lot different to the F1 braking zones given the less power that's actually on display here and less power on the brakes as well. Side by side with Leclerc on the run down towards turn number 11, the left-hander into the braking zone. We go out to brake a bit earlier, just in between the 150 metre boards and around the outside, a bit of a slide there, less traction these cars, well, less grip. We can jump into P2 once again, hold on to that place with Bearman now 1.2 seconds to the good there. We each have a dream start from third on the grid on this opening lap, but pushing further on now to the end of lap 2 and the start of lap 3, we nab the fastest lap off of him, 1 minute 44.047. We can start going for a move here because DRS will now be enabled. I imagine we won't be able to go for it straight away because there's a bit of a gap to close in, but the DRS will definitely help our case there. But it could also hinder us because Leclerc is still right there behind us within range himself. So any mistakes he could try and jump on us and try and take P2 back. We'll focus on Bearman for now, trying to close that gap. We're closer to him than Leclerc is to us. Closing that gap down to about 3 or 4 tenths as we go into the braking zone of turn 4. Could be a lap or two before we actually manage to make this move. A bit of a slide on the exit, but keeping it under wraps for the most part. Leclerc is still over us, keeping us under pressure all the time. On to lap 4 and closing even further on Bearman as we go towards that right-hander once again. Not quite close enough to go for a move to the inside. Slight tap to his rear wing, just let him know that we're there. Let him know that he is under pressure at this point in the race, looking for that top spot away from him. We enter end the first third of the sprint race. Leclerc still behind us though as he charged down out the S's and now down to the inside of the right hander. We made the move on after Leclerc on the first lap and to the inside of Bearman and jumping into the top spot and looking to try and pull away. Good pass as we can jump in front of the Prima and take the lead away for ourselves. A bit of a 4-car breakaway at the minute. You see myself, Bearman, Leclerc and Correa about 1.2 seconds covering us to go into the DRS zone. So all 3 of those guys will have the rear wing in play, but we've got nothing. We've got to sit here and defend and hopefully just hope they're going to go for a move. As we charge towards turn 11, you see how much Bearman gains, but doesn't go to the outside because we're shutting him off. Doesn't go to the inside either. The door is open, but he didn't go for it. But back up towards turn 12 and through 13, that long sweeping right-hander continuing to pace the field here. Fittipaldi leading the rest of the train behind us quite a way further back, about 3 seconds behind us on the exit. Oh, there we go! Around and off the circuit and almost spinning off into the inside wall. We tapped it lightly and that's a big spin and all of a sudden we go tumbling down the order and not at all what we wanted to happen. Bearman takes the lead. Correa now in tow behind him after Leclerc as well. And we now fall all the way down to P14 in the order. Clement Novalak, the next car in front of us. We're now mid-train. Zane Maloney behind us in the car for company. Down the main straight. Let's get right to work here, trying to close this gap back down. We've got plenty of time to do it. Yellow flag in front of us. That could be a place almost immediately here if someone's back off the pace. Closing on Novalak all the time, looking to go for that move. Down into turn 1. That's Dennis Hauger. He's got a problem there. MP Motorsport car up in smoke there. An entry to turn 1. Hauger becomes the first retiree of the season. No clue as to what actually happened to Hauger there, but he's the first casualty. And in that poor exit from turns 2 and 3, I mean, Novalak pulls up to about 8 tenths, and there's our first objective to achieve an average lap time of 1:46.2. We've now got to get those times back under control. I imagine it was the spin on the last lap that actually did put our lap time up a fair bit. But on to lap 6, chasing Clement Novalak now as he charged down towards turn number 8 once again, down the inside of the track from a long way back into the braking zone. We're going to pull in front of the Frenchman. He tries to get on the outside, tries to get switchback going, can't quite do it. So we'll maintain P12 for now, but hunting down Hadjar and Iwasa now to get us back into the top 10. Of course, as I say, no points until we reach the top 8 as we push further on to the past halfway part of this sprint race. There's just 6 more laps to go to try and get ourselves back up towards the front of the field. Down towards turn 1, still chasing Hadjar about 6 tenths in front of us. Yellow flag, everyone's stopping up. That was close to hitting the back of the high-tech there. Victor Martins, our teammate's gone around and given us a lifeline. Red flag is out. Okay, they've pulled the red. I'm not sure why. The spin on its own has made everyone stop. We've been given about 6 or 7 places there. So up into P5. And Martins will maintain P6 because he hasn't retired from the sprint race at all. So we've just been benefited massively there. And in terms of strategy, going on to the last 4 laps this race, we've restarted on lap 9. We're looking at soft tyres, but that could play into effect later because we'll have to be then using those soft tyres, I assume, at the start of the feature race. Well, look at the replay here. Bearman leads Leclerc, then Correa. Martins was sitting in 5th behind Fittipaldi. Just goes around, gives it too much juice on the exit. And we see us come through on the left-hand side of him here, only just squeezing past. So we get away with it, and we're now into P5 for the restart. Martins will be P6, Benavides just behind. And here we go, 4 laps to decide this sprint race. Behrman on the front row, Leclerc alongside him. We start from P5, lights out, foot to the floor. We are back underway. Martins with a good start on our right hand side as we charge back down towards the first corner. Leclerc away with the lead. Behrman down in third place just like that. Martins on the inside. We outbrake him, trying to go around the outside of the Brazilian Fittipaldi at turn 1, but he keeps in front of us on the exit in his car for the time being. Leclerc holds the lead. Correa second. I'd say Behrman down to third. In the same way we lost the lead on the initial race start. Martin's giving us pressure behind. Aruvula there in P7. Close to Fittipaldi. Won't be able to go for a move just yet. We've got 4 laps to get past 4 cars. We're trying to do one at a time. That'll do us nicely as he pushes on into the second sector of the lap, into turn 6 and now 7. The chicane, we got a bit loose there going through. We keep it under control though and go down the inside of Fittipaldi into turn 8, side by side with the Brazilian. And on the exit, going to pull him from about half a car length and clear him as he charges towards turn 9. So up into P4 now, 1 place off the podium and looking to see if we can still win this race from here. Bearing our next target, Correa in front. Arthur Leclerc leads the way. The Ferrari drivers doing fantastically, the Ferrari Academy drivers I should say. And with a few laps to go, we're still in control, trying to take this one back as we push on to the end of lap 11. And we're on to start lap 12. 1 more lap to go. This is the bell lap in this sprint race here in Bahrain. We still have a podium. The race win looking unlikely from here, but you never know. Here we go. The start of the final lap. Closing in on Behrman with DRS. Is getting close to Correa as well. We go for a late lunge here down the inside of our compatriot in the Prema into turn 1. Leclerc holds the lead. Correa doesn't go for a move on the exit. We jump into P3. Fantastic stuff there to get our position back and try and close on Correa now. Can we reel him in the last part of this lap? And closing up now on the final corner. Leclerc away by 1.2 seconds to us. Correa about a second back from him. And under pressure from us to try and seal the deal and bring home P2 for Van Amersfoort. Last corner over the curb there, couldn't quite get the run we needed, and it looks like Leclerc will hold him and win the first sprint race of the season. Correa will finish second, and we fight back from the spin to take third place.
What a performance! What a drive! It's victory for Arthur Leclerc!
Well, it's just the first sprint of the year, but what a great start. They'll be looking to do more of that in the longer race tomorrow.
Dams, another team with a huge amount of history based right in the heart of motorsport near Le Mans in France, have once again shown their formidable abilities out on the track with yet another win today.
So our fellow Ferrari Driver Academy driver, Arthur Leclerc, will win the first race of the season. Juan Manuel Correa home in second place. Fantastic return for him to Formula 2. And we'll come home in third in our ART machine. Have a look at the remainder of the results in terms of point scorers. Behrman comes home 4th, Fittipaldi 5th, Martin 6th, Jehan Aruvula in 7th, and Brad Benavides will nab the final point for PHM after a very, very exciting race. Doing 9th, and Frederick Vesti rounds out your top 10. Of course, the retirement as well from Dennis Hauger at the bottom of the order. But still, a very exciting sprint race there. I think that bodes well for the future. Well, we'll start P10, but let's see what we can do from there. But of course, quickly, we do have to go through our ratings. Of course, improvements in all areas after a decent comeback drive. I'd say a lot of the overtakes we made were from that crash that brought out the red flag. But regardless, we'll take it up to 66 rated. That's a good start to our growth as a driver. And we'll jump now into the feature race, see if we still nab some more points and perhaps even another podium. Let's go.
Hello and welcome from the Bahrain International Circuit here in Sakhir. Down on the grid, the engineers are making their last checks, and today's race will be underway shortly. Plenty of opportunities around the 3.36 miles of the Bahrain International Circuit for these young F2 drivers to show what they can do. The best passing opportunity right up there at turn 1, and we should see plenty of action there. But there's another not long after at turn 4. There are 9 right-handers and 6 left-handers, and the possibility that we could see some flat spots at the tightest of those left-handers, that's turn 10. With that then, let's run through the grid order. A fantastic effort from Jehan Aruvula yesterday puts him on pole position, and it's Dennis Hauger in P2. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Vesti, Benavides, Juan Manuel Correa, Martins, Behrman, Fittipaldi, Leclerc, Cohen, Awasa, Doohan, Clermont Novelak, Isaac Hadjar, Stanek, Maloney, Miney, and Roy Nissani. Boschon, Cordial, Vishaw, and Jack Crawford completes the grid. Now it's almost time to lights out, so let's get down to the track. The new season starts now. I'm Alex Jakes, Alex Brundle is alongside me, and it is time to restart Formula 2. We're so excited to be back. Alex, what are you expecting from this season?
Put 22 of the world's best young racing drivers in a pot, some great venues, press go, and it kicks out a champion. I cannot wait to see who comes out on top at the end of the year.
Okay, mate, I know it's tough in there, it's hot in that cockpit, but your tyres are even hotter, so you're going to have to work extra hard to keep them cool. It matters for performance.
So here we go, then no more talking. Time for the feature race here in Bahrain, starting from P10 on the grid, of course, our original qualifying slot. Now, crucially, we're going to be using those soft tyres that we just used in the sprint a bit more during the feature on this first stint. So we'll be dealing with a bit more tyre wear than expected, but we'll try and make the best of the situation here, trying to lose too many places as the formation gets underway. There is Leclerc on our right-hand side, our left-hand side, sorry, the driver who won the first round in the sprint. It was behind us and doing directly back there in P12. Fittipaldi's in front of us. Everyone look at those soft tyres, and we'll go on to hards later on in the second stint. We'll give those about 10 laps or so. We'll warm up the tyres as much as we can here. The tyres are in decent temperature, especially the rear ones look good. The front ones probably could do a bit more work. We'll line up here in our grid slot, getting ready for what should be a fantastic 16 laps on a circuit that continues to bring entertainment every single season. And here come the lights now for the first feature race, our first real test as an F2 driver from P10 on the grid. Lights out, foot to the floor. We are underway for the feature. Awas gets a good start. So does Novalak, charging towards the first corner. We could lose 2 places here to go down towards turn 1. Doing in behind us. Leclerc just in front. Novalak goes way in there. 3 wide into that first corner. Bit of contact. Leclerc goes over the curb. Hadjar on our left-hand side in the high-tech. Good start from him. He might try and take us, but we're going to hold him off for a minute. And it's down 2 places on the start. Iwasa and Novalak both get the jump as you try and close once again around the outside of the trident going into turn 4. He goes to the inside of Leclerc. We'll try and go 3 wide around the outside, but no momentum there. Hadjar goes side by side with Doan's in behind in the Virtuosi. We maintain P12, but 2 places down to start. And Leclerc feeling the force as well. It's tangling with Novalak. We'll get a good exit, take Novalak and go down the inside to take Leclerc once again here. Looking at turn number 8 on the exit, sliding a little bit. The tyres, the rear tyres in particular, will be the ones that struggle given how dangerous the circuit is for tyre wear. On the outside of the Monegasque into turns 9 and 10, we'll keep away from for the minute and maintain where we are in P11. So not a good start. We'll have to keep on moving, trying to get closer. Of course, top 10 will score points in this case, so we can get back to where we were. We'll be okay for points. On to lap 2 though. Clement Novalak is still giving us pressure as he charges towards that first corner. It's Jehan de Ruvela who shows the early way into the first corner. Dennis Hauger also up there as well from fresh from his retirement in the sprint. Novalak to the inside, slide there from the rear tyres, and the exit at turn 1. Novalak gets back in front of us, and Hadjar will be seeking his chance to try and make a move as well as he go down towards turn 4. Not close enough to Novalak to go for another move, try and get him back. You see the cloudy day here in Sakir, definitely unusual to what we normally see. You're seeing bright sunshine in these F2 races, but we'll continue on. P12 back down another position for now. Let's try and close back in on them, but these rear tyres, in particular the soft ones, are going to make it very difficult indeed for us to actually get any more time back because the rears are burning up very quickly. On to lap 3 here, DRS in play. Hadjar doesn't need it just yet. He's going to charge to the inside going down towards turn 1. He'll take the place away from us into the first corner, side by side on the exit, looking to get back around. He went over the curb. We'll take advantage to get back past him as we continue on in towards the DRS zone. Once again, good exit will be required. We've got DRS this time. Hadjar can't do anything for the minute, and we'll keep the place. We're just behind him when we enter the detection point at the entrance to turn 1. The slide though, Hadjar looking around, waiting for that little opportunity to try and go for it, but nothing for the minute. Pressing further on. There's a look at our rear tyres, almost half worn. Our fronts are doing okay. Our front left a bit worn, but the rear ones are a struggle here, because we need those ones for the exits of corners in particular. We're just struggling on the sliding. We'll keep that under control. I'm thinking potentially might go pitting a lap earlier than the original strategy, because these are burning up a lot faster than I expected them to as we push further on to lap 4. And Hadjar still giving us pressure. Novalak about a second and a half to the good run now. I believe that's Vesti in the lead. A big slide there, and Hadjar gets back through. Doing going for a double whammy as well on the outside of the Australian into turn number 8. Keep in front of him, and we'll maintain P13 for now. Hadjar though gets away with the place, and we'll continue on to lap 5. And it's looking more and more likely that we'll stop this lap. The orange tyre light, which you can see in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen, is now on. Big lost control on the exit. Doohan goes charging through. We almost took Hadjar. That turned into losing the place to Doohan. I think, yeah, if there's ever a sign we have to make that first pit stop, I'd say it's probably now, as we'll look into making our way to the pit lane for our first stop and only stop of this feature race onto that set of hard tyres that goes without use. So of course we're the only car to pit, so we'll fall to the back of the pack dead last for now. Everyone else's pit window now opening up, so our chance there will see about half the field in this time by. In we go though, optimal turning. I very nearly missed the turn in, to be honest, on this one here. The entry came a bit earlier than I expected, but hard tyres going on, slightly longer stops in F2, 4.2 seconds, and we are away nice and easy there, as expected in terms of time. And we'll have to see of course, where we emerge compared to everyone else who comes to the pit this time. There's our objective, achieve a fuel load below 28.6. Now so far on this game, I've only ever seen save your fuel to a certain point. So I'm glad I've got one here. We can try and go full push and really try and get the lead out and gain as much time as we can, burn as much fuel as we need to. As we've gone to lap 7 now and closing towards the end of the first half of this race, getting a few places on the exit. We've actually lost a place or two. That we're up to P17, just in front of Kushmani, way too deep into turn 1. Roman Stanek in the other trident. Of course, we've dealt with Novalak already, but Stanek now will be our next opponent, I think. And mainly almost got us. We're in the Sartney in there just behind as well. Keep an eye on him too. As we push further on now onto the end of lap 7, we caught Stanek. Purple sector 2. These hard tyres really working their magic now, and we'll try and push further on, get a points pay and place back. The majority of the top half of the field are all in the pit lane, down the inside of Stanek and into P16 once again. We'll see where about to emerge compared to everyone else. I should imagine those guys in front will probably keep it in front of us for the time being, and I think we'll be just outside of the points, but we'll see where we emerge. Failed the objective, didn't quite burn enough fuel over the course of their last few laps. Back up to P14. See Stanek still there behind us. Hadjar and doing about 2 or 3 seconds in front. But those two are fighting way too deep again. Almost go off the circuit this time. Stanek might go for an opportunity here, but keeps in line for the moment. He's starting to look at the outside of the proximity arrow, going to the red on the right. Halfway through the feature race now and closing. Fastest lap being set by us, so the pace is still there. We can close these guys back down again. Let's push on to lap 11. There's our objective. Achieved 12th position, so that will involve passing, repassing Hadjar and Doom. We're closing in because these guys are stuck in a train, but on DRS that's where we lose the most time because those guys have it and we don't. Stanek about 2.2 seconds back from us now, and we've got 5.5 laps left in this feature race. Should close those guys down and try and get a points pay in place. If we can get ourselves back in the train, that would help us massively. Yellow flag, I see a white dot slowing down on the map there, and that can only mean one thing. I think that's our teammate again. That's Victor Martins, who looks to have a problem of some kind. He's falling through the field massively this time. Last time he held them all at bay. This time he's off circuit completely. You see him down the right hand side pulling over. That is race done, and we'll remain the only point scorers for ART if we can nab any at the end of this race. Victor Martins is out, but it's a place for us now, and we're only one away from that objective of taking P12. What's happened to our teammate here? It doesn't bode well for us if it's a reliability problem. No smoke coming out of the back of the car, as we've seen before in previous F1 games, in previous races on this game. So it looks to be some kind of internal fault from there. You see us going past him on the exit from the final corner now, and Martins pulls over. Game over for the other ART, but it's pushing to lap 13 now. Yellow flag again in front. That's one of the leaders this time. Who's that? That's one of the MP cars. Not sure who it is. Vesti's getting away up front. Behrman will be in a good position as we go in towards turn 4. MP's Troy weekend continues as we find out who it is. It's Jahan Daruvla who's got problems this time. Halga had it in the sprint, Daruvla in the feature. We pass our objective, they're taking 12th place away, but not the way we wanted to do it. We've still got to catch Hadjar and Duan. What's happened to Jahan Daruvla here, who's facing down Vesti into turn 1 with Halga, his teammate, there for backup just behind. Behrman was in P4, I believe. He's in quite a good position now in terms of points if he can finish this one. There's the smoke, a very light puff of smoke, and it's all that is really needed. Vesti now set sail in front. Behrman into the podium places, and Daruvla, his first feature race of the season, ends in smoke. There is the smoke show, and we go through there up into P12. On to lap 14 now, just under 3 laps to go, and we've now caught up to Isaac Hadjar and Jack Doohan in the points there, a place in front. Down the inside of Hadjar into the right hander. There we go, on the exit. It's been our best overtaking spot throughout the race here. Another place gain there, and we've got 2.5 laps now to pass Doohan for that last point. On to lap 15. DRS be in play for us as we go down towards turn 4, looking for a good slipstream here, trying to make a move potentially on the Australian as we go into the right-hander down the inside from a late lunge, and we make it work though on the exit, sliding, but we keep it under control. The soft tyres definitely are a lot worse than this on corner exits. We're all good now. On to the final lap in the points, a fastest lap point to boot if we can hang on to this last lap, but Novalak is there in front. We could try and get him back. We were fighting him on the open lap. We're back into our starting place. We can make this a positive though, up the inside of Clement Novalak. He's going to get a switch back on us. He's down or outside because we went too deep. We managed to get the place regardless. Arthur Leclerc in front of us there. Brad Benavides in 7th. right now as we push now into the last part of the race. There are our tyres. The left side completely finished. The front left has been through a lot today in terms of tyre wear. But as you come to the last corner here, up front, Frederik Vesti will take the flag and win the first feature race of the season. It'll be Hauger second, Behrman third. Will runs the line in the end in P9. That was a fun race. I thoroughly enjoyed that one. We had to really push to get those guys, get Hadjar and Doohan back, and to claim Novalak on the final lap. Still contact from Hauger in front. There is your race winner just in front. Vesti. It was Vesti, sorry. I guess the driver of the day as well. But what an exciting first race. I hope there's many more just like that as the season continues.
A super drive, a super win for Frederik Vesti.
Well, they've sent that one, haven't they? Brilliant start to the season, and that's exactly what they wanted for their early points tally.
As we look back on a thrilling race here today, we can now see the drivers take their places on the podium. It's a familiar sight by now, as it's another successful F2 win for Prix.
Prema continues to do what they do best then, nurturing future champions. Vesti takes the race win today ahead of Dennis Hauger and Oliver Behrman in third place. It'll be the championship lead in the full 25 points for Vesti. Of course, we nabbed the fastest point off of him there, so we'll take that one. That'll be 3 points for our championship after the points in the sprint. Have a look then at the remainder of your top 10. It's Correa 4th, Fittipaldi in 5th, Iwasa 6th, Benavides 7th, Leclerc 8th, we finished 9th, and Clement Novalak that will nab the last points on offer. Very enjoyable race there, and I must say it was good fun. We fell back for a bit, managed to fight back, and the strategy played into our hands perfectly. Vesti leads the way by 5 points over Behrman and Correa. We sit 7th in the championship, 9 points to our name. Martens took 3 in the sprint, so there'll be points for both sides there. ART, I believe I said that Martin 10th scored points, so I correct myself on that. 12 points then for ART to kickstart the season, but Prema on 45 will be the team to beat, and keep an eye on Dams as well after Leclerc. The MP cars look strong today. Shame about the Deruvla retirement, but they're in a good stead for the remainder of this season. In terms of ratings though, improvements in our racecraft and awareness in terms of going to go up a rating, and that'll bring us up to close to a 67, so we're looking in good stead to try and beat that for the next episode. But guys, that is the end of the first episode of this new series. I do hope you did enjoy it. If you did, make sure to like, share and subscribe for more future F1 24 content. You have a fantastic day, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.